Heather on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, this is Heather.
Yes, I know. I just said that.
Oh, okay. I can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good.
Well, first of all, don't judge me too harshly because I've paid the price for this for many years, and I did get pregnant on purpose, and I...
Wait, you didn't just do it on purpose. You did it on purpose and without somebody's knowledge.
Exactly. And
well, here's the deal. It's not so much a matter of beating you over the head. Here's what I want to know. What made you think that was a good idea? Like, what made you think that would work out?
I was trying to save my relationship with this person. I had moved from Tucson up to Carson City, Nevada, and things weren't working out very well. I was very young. I was 22, I think, at the time. And I thought that basically it would make him make a commitment to me. His brother was getting married, and the girl that he was with, she was pregnant. And I guess I just, I was in love with him, and I thought that,
You thought that deceiving him would be a good way to keep him.
Right, and there's...
I was being facetious, and you said, yes, right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're in love with somebody, why would you think that deceiving them would be a way to strengthen your relationship?
I don't now, okay? But back then, I was very young, and I thought that it would. I realize now that it was like the most horrible thing and selfish thing I could ever have done to anybody, and the biggest victim of it is my son. He has never met his father because of this. After I told him that I was pregnant, he... didn't want anything to do with me. He wouldn't, take my phone calls. He wouldn't speak to me. And I haven't spoken to him in 16 years. And every day I pay the price of that. I mean, I have a little boy who I can't explain to him why he doesn't have a father. And I mean, I think any child that comes into this world should have a mother and a father. And both of those parents should absolutely want that child. And for what it's worth, I mean, it's come back and God's punished me for it, or karma, or whatever. I mean, I'm trying to have a baby now with my husband, and we can't have children because I have tubal blockage. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a wrong and horrible thing that someone could ever do to somebody.
What do you tell your son?
What do you mean, what do I tell him?
Does he ever ask you why he never sees his father?
He asked about his father, and do you know how awful it was to try to mildly... sweetly put in so many words that it's because your father doesn't want to see you, because he never wanted children, and he told me this. I mean, I know you're thinking I'm an evil, horrible person, and I didn't really, I didn't believe him. I mean, we were both so young then. I said, oh, he'll change his mind or whatever, after this. But I mean, it was just, it's hard to tell your son, why you can't make someone want to be in their life.
And even at that, you didn't tell your son the whole story if that's what you told him, because saying his father didn't want to see him, he doesn't know why his father didn't want to see him.
Oh, no, I told him it was because of me. I told him that I wanted to have him, which I did, which is, the truth of the matter. But of course I didn't come right out and say that I deceived, I did this on purpose, and I was being, selfish. I mean, I think I did tell him I was selfish, but I was selfish, and I was, I just look back now, and I am so sorry that I ever did that. And I know, I mean, in this day and age, there should be no unwanted or accidental pregnancies, except maybe in the case of incest or rape. And, men, they do need to protect themselves. I mean, I don't, like, the advice you give out for young men to wear a condom, and I mean, that's just so true. I mean, I really think that people should have a license to have children, because, I mean, it's a difficult process. I mean, a kid's not just like a puppy that you take home. There's so much responsibility that's attached to it, and they're expensive. I mean, I pay $900 a month for my kid to go to a parochial school and alone.
And does his father support his son or no?
I get child support. Yes, I do. I had to go through the county attorney's office, and I get the child support. And of course, he denied the paternity, but it came back that he was the father, which he was. And I.
Did you ever think about the fact first you deceived him, and now you take money from him?
Yeah, I know. I do.
And you feel good about that?
I needed to help raise this kid. No, I don't think it's right. No, I don't think it's right.
But it didn't stop you from going to court and getting the money.
I think partially way back then, to just tell you how, you know, it was kind of a revenge thing because he didn't want me or whatever, and He didn't
want you because you lied to him.
No, he didn't. Our relationship ended before I guess it's before I ever got pregnant. But it's not like he didn't want me because I lied to him.
So the relationship ended, and then you had sex with him, and then you got pregnant without him knowing about it.
Yes.
Which is deception.
Right.
And then you needed to get back at him for what? You got pregnant to get back at him?
No, I didn't get pregnant to get back at him. I took him to court for child support to get back at him.
Why?
And this is my thought process when I was 20.
Well, you know, there's nothing stopping you from sending that money back.
I need it for my son.
I know, but again, you put yourself in that position.
I realize that, but it takes two to tango, too. I mean, you know, he could have, if he would have...
He believed that you wouldn't or couldn't get pregnant.
No, I don't think he didn't believe. I didn't tell him I wouldn't or couldn't get pregnant. He knew I could get pregnant.
He told you he didn't want to have any kids.
Right.
And you were not using birth control. Did you say, oh, by the way, I'm not using any birth control?
Yeah, I told him. I said I'm not using any birth control.
So you let him know?
I let him know.
And you let him know that if you got pregnant, you'd have a kid?
We never talked about it.
But you could have brought that up.
Probably so, but I wasn't thinking that, to be honest with you, I wasn't thinking that I was going to be pregnant. I was really just not being careful with the birth control. And
that way you have what Oliver North once called plausible deniability. That way you can say, well, I wasn't planning on it, but the reality is, if you're healthy and you don't use birth control and you have sex on a regular basis, chances are at some point you're going to get pregnant.
Right. Right.
But you didn't really care about having that discussion because that would end your little plan.
Exactly. I mean,
So it was all about your deceiving him.
It was. And I mean, it was just, and I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Yeah, but you don't feel guilty enough to not take the money.
Well, I need the money.
You need the money because of your own deception.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could stop the child support. I mean, it's not like it's that much. And it's
if you felt that guilty about it, you could certainly say, you know what, I've come to a realization that I was wrong, that I deceived you, that it was the wrong thing to do. I have felt horrible about it, and I've suffered for it, and I've given it a lot of thought, and I've decided, you know what, it's not fair for me to take this money.
Well, it's already court-ordered, and I don't know...
You could easily write a check for the amount and send it back to him. You could. If that's what you wanted to do, you could do that. But you won't.
No, I won't. And, I won't.
So you don't feel that badly about it?
Yeah, I do feel badly about it, but money's not going to make a difference or change the situation.
Well, guess what, dear? You've got a husband now. You've got a husband now.
Right.
So it's not like you're broke.
No.
So you're doing this to make some kind of point. You're taking the money from him.
You know what, Tom, to be honest with you, we're in the process of, my husband's going to be adopting him, so the child support's going to stop anyways.
You're going to get every penny you can until that happens.
No, I mean, it should be shortly happening here, not too long from now.
There'll be a check this week or this month, won't there?
Yeah,
and you'll keep it.
You know what? You're probably right, and I will write a check and I'll send it back to him.
I mean, to me, it only makes sense.
You're right. But, the fact of the matter is, too, I mean, it takes two people, and I think that you should continue to advocate.
I will continue to advocate it, but again, that's again trying to get off the subject of you deceiving this guy.
But I already know that I just tried to share my story with you. I don't want you to come down on me.
It's not that I'm coming down on you, dear. I'm just simply saying that to accept the money is hypocritical if you really believe what you're telling me. That you feel badly, you feel horrible. You've heard me come down on people. This isn't coming down on you. I'm just having a conversation with you. If you really feel as badly as you say, how could you take money from this man?
Well, Tom, it's taken, 15, 14, 13 years for me to really realize that.
Well, whenever you realize it, that's the moment you should stop taking the money.
Probably, but I never thought about sending the money back, I guess, until you told me, or just, until we're having this discussion. I mean, I can't say I've ever even told another soul what I just told you.
No, I'm glad you told me. And that's why I'm not coming down on you like a ton of bricks. I'm just having a conversation with you and trying to make people start thinking this way if I can. Perry, what did you want to say to Heather?
Tom, how are you? 11-year listener. Heather, you know this is a legal form of fraud. This is what you're doing. Do you realize that?
And
women have this out there. This is a legal form of fraud that women have, and men don't have this, but women do it all the time, don't they, Tom?
Of course.
Why can't we do something about this?
You can.
It's called entrapment.
You absolutely can. You know what you do? You go to the sperm bank and go have them freeze some of your sperm, and you go get a vasectomy, and then when you need your sperm, you get it out.
Of course, notice women never say, well, you know what, I'll get a tubal ligation, and then later I'll reverse that.
But then they have control over their bodies and what's happening. You're not giving your control up to anybody.
Yeah, but the point is that there are guys, I don't know how old you were, what were you, 25 when you got impregnated? Your boyfriend was probably 27 or something?
I was 23.
You were 23. And how old was your boyfriend?
He was 22.
22. Now, he may want to have children when he's 35.
Right.
But not when he's 22.
Right.
So the point is, for him to have a vasectomy, only 65% of vasectomies are reversible. The other 35% are not. And so what you're suggesting, a permanent solution for something, he may only need a temporary solution.
Well, he can go there's that cryo storage, and they can freeze it for up to many, many years. So when they do need it, then they can get it out. I mean, you know, unfortunately, they don't have the control over their bodies. I mean, unless they're putting on a condom, you know, they're going to put themselves at risk.
Well, women have the control of entrapment.
Well, you guys have as much control over the situation as we do. Don't give it up.
No, that's not true, because if we tell you we don't want a baby and you go, oh, no, I promise you I won't have a baby, and then, bang, you get knocked up, and the next thing you know, 18 years we're writing checks. We do wear condoms. Condoms aren't always 100% effective.
Well, then you need to talk to the hand.
What we need to do is put Tabasco in the condom like Tom says.
No, you need to talk to the hand or don't have sex.
Yeah, see, women don't need to talk to the hand, do they?
Well, you can if you want to.
Tom, I appreciate you, buddy, and, you know, take me out porno music style. That's what she needs. Thanks.
All right, real quickly here, because I want to get one more call in here. All right, that's enough. John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, who is this backpedaling bitch anyway? She's calling up saying how sorry she is, and then all of a sudden, like you're saying, she's collecting child support. Unbelievable.
Well, that's just the reality of the situation.
Because I really believe what the magazine article said, that women don't think they're doing anything really wrong.
And I didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
Yeah, but
you know, back then,
if you were really sorry, you'd start
and another thing, you don't have to be insulting and calling me names. I don't think that's necessary.
And start refunding him half of the child support that he paid throughout these years. Yeah.
No, because it compensated for the fact that he.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah.
Whatever.
Blah.
Yeah. All right.
You know, you put him in that situation and then you charge him for it.
He put himself in the situation too. He could have said no. So.
In other words, he was stupid. He was stupid to believe in you, trust you, and to believe that you know, you wouldn't have a baby. He tells you he doesn't want to have a baby, and when you don't object, he thinks that means you also don't want to have a baby. And you don't really have the whole conversation with him, is really what it boils down to. We don't need to be mean about it here. You've been nice enough to tell your story. Darren, what do you want to say to Heather?
Hey, Tom, this you got to replay this. This is a perfect public service announcement for the legalization of prostitution, man. Men, just like you always say, men need to ejaculate just like we need to eat and we need to sleep. You got women like this out here entrapping men, taking child support from this guy who obviously didn't want to have kids. It's just ridiculous. You legalize prostitution, the divorce rate drops, abortion drops, unwanted pregnancies drop. It cures everything.
All right, Heather, Darren, thank you for the call.